Hi everyone, today I'll be teaching you the basics of Premiere Pro. Now before we begin, I have prepared some files for you if you want to follow the tutorial closely so that you can replicate exactly what I'm doing. Link in the description. So let's open up Premiere. You'll see something like this. Let's create a new project. You want to name the project, give it a location, and then hit create in the bottom right. Let's name it first video. I'll make a new folder on my desktop and just put a project there and hit create. Now what you see might be a bit different from what I have on screen, so to make sure we're on the same page, hit the window, workspaces, and then go editing. Then again go window, workspaces, reset to saved layout. So the first thing we want to do is import our assets that we have prepared. So simply drag all of your media into the project panel. Now this is a little bit unorganized, so if you want to make new bins in here to keep stuff organized, you can hit this button. Name it. First one, let's name it footage. And let's put our video clips in there. Let's make another one. Name it SFX for sound effects. I only have one, but that's okay. And let's make another one for music. Next thing you want to do is grab your footage and drag it like this onto the timeline. This creates a new sequence, and this is where we'll do all of our editing, rearranging clips, adding music, sound effects, literally everything. So I've gone ahead and I've gotten some beautiful shots of nature from Pexels. Now the very first thing I would urge anyone to do, it doesn't matter if you want to do editing professionally or as a hobby, this is very important. Keyboard shortcuts. You should start learning keyboard shortcuts as soon as possible. Now I know you might say, hey, I'm not a professional, I don't need keyboard shortcuts. Trust me, you do. Imagine playing a first-person shooter video game without your keyboard. It's pretty much the same. So hit edit, keyboard shortcuts. This window will pop up. This is where you can change your shortcuts and also preview what actions are bound to which key. So for today we'll cover two commands. First one is add edit. To change the shortcuts, simply press on the existing one. I'm guessing for you it's going to be something like Ctrl+K. Press on it, hit S. Just trust me, hit S. Next one is clear. That's basically to delete stuff. So for the shortcut, the default is delete, obviously, but I would highly advise you to bind the D key to it. So we do this since our hand is always going to be on the keyboard. We want these actions to be easily accessible to us at all times. After you're done with that, just hit OK. Now we are ready. For today, we'll focus on the timeline, which is down here, the program monitor, where you can preview the edits that you're doing, so the video. And if you go up here and click Effect Controls, that's the third panel we'll be focusing on today. So a couple of things about the timeline. You can go left and right using the mouse scroll. If you press and hold Alt and then scroll, you'll zoom in and out of the timeline. And just one last thing, you don't have to do this. Some people prefer it this way, some people don't. This is how I do it. Go up to Sequence and enable Selection Follows Playhead. Playhead is this little blue thing in the timeline which shows the current frame, and that current frame is displayed in the program monitor up here. So when we enable Selection Follows Playhead, that just means that whatever video the playhead is above currently will be treated as the active selection. Okay, so let's hold Alt, let's zoom in into our timeline a little bit. To play the video we hit space, and to pause we hit space again. You can also grab the playhead and move it left and right to preview the video. Now let's say we wanted to make this video shorter. We could simply grab one end and pull on it, grab the other end and pull on it. That's not very precise. To undo your actions, you can hit Ctrl+Z. So let's cut the video using the shortcut that we set up earlier. We need to make sure that the video is selected. We can either do that by moving the playhead or selecting the clip itself with your mouse. And then you hit S. This makes a little cut. Now we don't need this part of the video, as an example. So we can select it, hit D to delete it. And let's say we wanted our video to run up to here. Again, S, D to delete. Now we have some empty space left in here, and we could grab our video and move it to the side, grab the next video, move it here, but there's a quicker way. So let's undo that. You can simply select the empty space, you can hit D to delete, and let's delete this one as well. There we go. Now we have no more gaps in our video. Okay, let's go to the last video. As we can see, it's kind of small. It doesn't fill the frame. Why is that? Well, the first video that we put into the timeline is this video, which is of higher resolution, which is the reason the sequence is also of higher resolution. and then this video, which is of lower resolution, appears smaller. Let's click on this video to select it, and on the left in the effect controls panel we can see some properties. Now I highly advise you go and play around with these settings on your own. For today I'll just explain position, scale and rotation, since those are pretty simple to understand and very essential. Now there's two ways you can change the transform of a video. You can double click the video in the program monitor, which brings up these small dots. If you put your mouse over one of the dots, you can see that your cursor changes, and you can grab and pull on it to change the size. If you keep your cursor very close to the edge, but not like on it, just close to the edge, this icon will appear, which if you hold and drag, you can rotate the video. And if you click anywhere on the video and drag, you can change its position. So let's make sure everything is centered by resetting the position. And let's grab this little dot up here and make sure our video fills the entire screen. So using everything that we learned, we are now able to cut our video just like that, you know, as an example, so that only the moments that we want are included. Now let's say we wanted to add some transitions and some text. How can we do that? Let's go to the effects panel. Let's go video transitions. Now you can play around with these, you can explore, you can see what's out there, but for today we'll go dissolve, cross dissolve. To apply transitions, you simply drag them and you drop them between two clips. So now if we zoom into here, you can see that we have this little icon, which just means that there is a transition there. You can see the name of the transition. And if you play the video, you can see the first video slowly fades into the second one. Let's apply the same transition to the other cut. Now, how do we add text? Let's go Window, Essential Graphics. I don't know where it's gonna pop for you on the screen. It popped for me here. Move your mouse onto the Essential Graphics, click on it and drag here somewhere so that it moves to the left side. In case you need to resize the interface, you can like simply do that by putting your mouse in the middle of two panels. This icon appears and you can just, you know, pull left or right. Okay, to add text, you can either go to the Essential Graphics, edit, this little icon, and then text, which makes a new text layer appear. We can see it in the timeline and you can see it in the program monitor. The other better way is shortcuts, obviously. So to add text on screen, press T and click anywhere in the program monitor. And now you can type something. Now, whenever you hit T, you actually go into like the text mode, I guess. So to go back from the text mode, hit Escape first to cancel the selection of the text, and then hit V on your keyboard. There's also a panel right here where you can see all the tools that are available to you. The selection tool, rate stretch, cut tool, pen tool, pan tool, text is here too. So if you want to, you can go and explore those further. Okay, so let's select our text. Go up here to Essential Graphics, select the text, which makes the little dots appear, which you can then use to scale and move your text on screen. Let's make sure it's in the center by using the align buttons here. So this is to align it horizontally and this is to align it vertically. Now it's smack in the middle. So let's say we wanted the video to open up with this shot of nature, and then we want the text nature to slowly fade onto the screen. We can go to our effects, we can grab the cross dissolve, and we can drop it onto the beginning of the text. Okay, so let's watch that. That might be too quick. So to increase the length of the transition, you can simply grab it like this and pull. Okay, let's preview again. Yeah, that's better. But our video is currently silent, so let's add some music and some sound effects. So for music, again, you just go to your project panel, you grab the music, and let's put it down on the A2 line. So videos go in the upper portion of the timeline and audio clips go on the lower portion of the timeline. Let's make sure to put a cut here by pressing S and deleting the rest of the music so it matches the length of our video so far. And let's also put our sound effect on the same place where there are transitions. Now I know that this sound effect specifically doesn't really match this type of transition, but this is more about the basics. I encourage you to go out there, find sound effects that you like better and experiment with them. Okay, so let's play the video, see what we have so far. I know it doesn't work here, I know it doesn't work, but for the sake of this tutorial and for the knowledge that I'm trying to give to you, works perfectly. So let's say you're finished with editing your video. Now, how can we turn this into a file that you can actually play on your computer or share online? First things first, make sure your timeline is selected. Then go up here to export. We can name the video. I'll name this test video. Click here, choose the location for the video. I'll just do my desktop. And for preset, I would suggest just find match source adaptive medium bitrate and do not worry about it too much. Next, make sure that range is set to entire source and go down here and click export. Alright, it's done. Let's go to our desktop. There it is. Let's play it. Alright. Congrats, you just edited your first video.